Disclaimer: this biography is based on accurate research. Some images are illustrative due to copyright limitations. A small idea can change the world. This is the story of a tiny message that flew like a bird. I've spent years digging into the real story behind this platform, speaking to the people who were there from day one. What you are about to hear is a true story of creativity, conflict, and a simple idea that connected millions. It began not with a grand vision, but with a small, persistent thought in the back of one man's mind. The world was about to hear a new kind of song, short, fast, carried on a digital wind. This is how that song was composed, note by note. The journey starts inside a struggling company called Odeo. It was a podcasting platform, but Apple's iTunes was eating its lunch. The team knew they needed a new direction. In early 2006, the company's leader, Evan Williams, told his employees to break into small groups. Their mission was to brainstorm new ideas to find something fresh that could save the company. The atmosphere was tense, but also full of possibility. They were on the edge of failure, which often makes people brave enough to try something truly different. One of these employees was a quiet, thoughtful programmer named Dorsey. For years, he had been fascinated by the short, simple status updates used by couriers and taxi drivers to communicate their location and activity. He imagined a service where anyone could broadcast their personal status to their friends. "What are you doing right now? Where are you?" The idea was simple, almost too simple. He sketched it out on a piece of paper. It was a basic box where you could type a short message and send it out to a small group of people. The concept felt personal, immediate, alive. Dorsey shared his idea with his group. At first, some were skeptical. It sounded like a niche toy for tech insiders. But one person, Noah Glass, saw the potential immediately. He felt a powerful emotional connection to the idea of knowing what his friends were doing in real time. He became the biggest champion of the project. Noah pushed hard, arguing for its potential. The idea moved from a simple sketch into a real conversation. The team decided to build a quick prototype, a small experiment to see if this status idea had any legs. The project needed a name. The team brainstormed for hours, throwing out words and concepts. They wanted a short burst of information, something light and ephemeral. Noah searched a dictionary and found Twitter. It was perfect. Definition: short burst of inconsequential information, and chirps from birds. It captured the essence exactly. With a name and a basic concept, the team needed to build a working prototype. The engineers, led by a German contractor named Florian Weber, worked quickly. They hacked together a simple system that ran on a web server. It allowed a user to send a text message from their phone to a specific number. That message would then be broadcast to all the other people in that user's network. It was crude, but it worked. On March 21st, 2006, Dorsey sent the very first message on the new system. It was a simple, factual statement. He typed, "Just setting up my Twitter." That single sentence marked the birth of a communication revolution. It was not a grand announcement, but a quiet, humble beginning. In the following days and weeks, the small team at Odeo became the first users. They posted about eating sandwiches. They posted about going to meetings. They posted about feeling tired. It created a strange sense of ambient awareness. The team knew they had something special, but it was still just an internal project. As Twitter grew beyond the small team at Odeo, it needed a visual identity. The name itself already evoked the image of a bird. But the first logo was not the clean, simple icon we know today. The original logo was a bubbly green wordmark that looked very much a product of its time. It lacked a strong symbol. The team wanted something that was friendly, simple, and could represent the service without using any words. They needed an icon that could stand alone, a symbol as recognizable as Apple's apple or Nike's swoosh. The idea of a bird kept coming back in conversations. The first bird was not designed by a famous artist. It was a small, simple bird silhouette that Biz Stone found on a stock image website. He purchased the rights to the simple illustration for about $15. The artist, British designer Simon Oxley, likely had no idea his creation would become globally recognized. The team modified the illustration slightly, but its core form remained. It was a simple, light blue bird in flight, facing upward. It was optimistic, energetic, and perfectly captured the feeling of a message taking wing. The bird was named Larry. Biz Stone, a fan of the Boston Celtics basketball team, named the bird after the legendary player Larry Bird. One of the most defining features of early Twitter was its strict character limit. Every message or tweet could be no longer than 140 characters. This was not an arbitrary creative choice. It was a technical necessity. The service was built to be compatible with SMS text messages, which had a standard limit of 160 characters. The team reserved 20 characters, username and other commands, leaving 140 characters for the user's message. This constraint, born from a technical limitation, would go on to shape the very culture of the platform. This limit forced people to be concise. You could not ramble. You had to get straight to the point. This made the service incredibly fast to read and easy to scan. In a world of long blog posts and dense articles, Twitter felt like a breath of fresh air. It created a new style of writing, abbreviations, clever wordplay, directness. It was a challenge, a small puzzle to solve with every tweet. This made Twitter an incredibly efficient engine for viral content. A joke, a piece of breaking news, a powerful quote could spread across the globe in minutes. As Twitter moved from a side project to a standalone company in 2007, it faced immense challenges. The service was growing faster than the team could handle. The site crashed frequently. Users were greeted by an image of a whale being lifted by a flock of birds. In 2007, the South by Southwest Interactive Festival became a massive coming-out party for Twitter. The company set up large screens in the hallways, displaying a live feed of tweets about the conference. SXDW proved that Twitter was not just a social network, it was an information network.